Anyone here engaged? Anyone here at that point in their lives? That's always a fun one. Yeah, we got some engagement over here. Well, congratulations. Friend of mine recently got married, and fantastic. She had a bachelorette party, threw up all the photos online, and that's what we do. That's what my generation does. We overshare, and I got to witness her bachelorette party through photo. And maybe ladies, you can help me out with this, because about 80% of the photos were just the girls licking fake penises. That was most of it. It was just like, and they were like penis straws, and there was penis hats, and then there was a penis cake. There's a whole fucking industry out there. There's a guy right now just stamping out dicks 12 hours a day, just trying to put food on the table for his family, you know? Out in western Pennsylvania somewhere, he's got soot in his forehead, just his wife's calling him up at home. When are you coming home?
I love the names of weed strains because they're either like the...
It's wedding season. And ladies, this is supposed to be your night. This is supposed to be ladies' night, right? You have finally rid yourselves of your boyfriends and your husbands, and the first thing you do is you put a bunch of penises in your mouth? Like, that was the go-to thing? You don't want to do that. We want you to do that. And like... if you really want to do that, then just come home. We'll figure something out. There's no need for you to be traveling the countryside. Guys don't do that, right? You don't see guys screwing around with fake vaginas at their bachelor parties. Guys get real vaginas at their bachelor parties. We definitely chip in for the real thing. Not saying I condone that either. That's sort of a weird tradition. We slipped through the ladies, isn't it, fellas? Like, hey, what are you going to do the last couple days before you marry the woman you love? Like, oh, I'm going to cheat on her with a stripper. I mean, that's the tradition. I'm not going to stick my nose up to a tradition. I'm going to do what my father did and what his father did. It is interesting, though, when you pay attention to love through the generations, because we fall in love differently. You know, we fall in love online now. And if you have your parents around, if you have your grandparents around, ask them how they fell in love. It's beautiful. But pay close attention, too, because the older they get, the creepier it gets. It is interesting. I remember I asked my grandfather, I was like, hey, when did you know that grandma was the one? And he was like, I'll tell you when I knew. When I first laid eyes on her, I said, I'm going to marry that woman. And that's what I said. And that's really beautiful back then. Nowadays, it's creepy as hell. You can't get away with that. That's weird. Can't be out at the bar. Steve's like, hey, I'm going to marry her. You're like, sit down, man. You had a lot to drink tonight. Why don't you just chill out? Ah, she's mine. Then I talked to Grandma. Grandma did not help the situation. I was like, hey, Grandma, when did you know that Grandpa was the one? She was like, oh, I was never all that interested in your grandfather. But he was very persuasive. I don't know.
Doesn't affect people around.
Grandma, what the hell happened that night? I don't understand. That's how Grandpa did it, though, man. Grandpa, we're pussies comparatively nowadays. They're like, hey, do you think maybe you and I are going to date? And I'll text you, and you won't text me back, but I'll text you again. Grandpa, he was like, me, you, let's go. I gotta go to war in a week. You're like, oh, shit. Grandpa had game, man.